What's going on YouTube? Going to be showing you guys how I made $2,106 on my live account in a week. And let's just get right to it. I'm going to be showing you guys how I made $2,106 from the comfort of my home this week on a live trading account. Now, a lot of you guys love to trade prop firm. Oh, prop firm this, prop firm that. Yeah, I mess with the prop firms too, but it's nothing like making 2,000 from the house. I know this is not a lot of money, but the fact that I can withdraw and I don't have to go by any restrictions because the prop firm is just a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go over how I made this with such a simple strategy. So I'm going to go over this trade right here on gold. I think this is the most clearest one to show my account, not account, to show my trade strategy. So this gold trade right here, let's go off of this. We go up right here. So we're gonna go over this XAU buy that I took that I made $434. Now I usually go for $500, but I ended up closing out a little early. Little psychological issue right there, but it'll be all right. So I always start on the daily time frame. The first thing I like to do is mark out my zones. Now you can click this button right here. It just resets the chart, and you can use this side button right here to kind of like stretch it out. I stretch it out. I take a look where current price is. I always work where the current price is, the current candle. So on that day, I was probably working like with this candle or whatever, this candle. But regardless, it's all within the same zone. So I look where current candle is. I'm asking myself, is this candle high or is this candle low? This candle is low. Why is it low? Because this is a bearish candle currently. And price is more towards the bottom of the zone. I didn't even draw the zone yet, but it's more towards the bottom of structure. Like, look at all this. Do you see? You got bearish candle followed by bullish candle. These are rejections. When you see a bearish candle followed by a bullish candle, bearish candle, bullish candle, wicks. These little sticks right here, these are all wicks. These are wicks. Bearish candle, bullish candle. This is a zone. This whole thing is a zone for rejections. Look how far it goes. Wicks. Everything's wicks. So since price is right there, I'm working where the current candle is. I'm not going to put my thing up here, down here. I'm working where this live candlestick is. The first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for the nearest support, the nearest bounce. Where is the nearest bounce? For me, the nearest bounce is right here. Why did I select this area? Obviously, because we have touch here. Even though they broke through, it's okay. I go off of bodies more than I go off of wicks. The wicks are just telling me that this area is super strong because price, when it was live, this bearish candle went all the way down here. This bullish candle went all the way down here. But when it closed above the zone. So regardless, this is strong. This is super strong, actually. And look at these bodies. You got bodies. When you see a lot of bodies, that's a good sign. See all these wicks right here? Wicks. These are good signs. This is a great area to make my first zone. And this zone is going to be a bottom zone. Why is it a bottom zone? Because where current price is, it already came down to make a wick. You see that wick it made? Let me zoom in. This is a wick. It already rejected it. This is a powerful bottom zone. Now, this is a bounce. Now I'm looking around to see a potential top zone. I'm not going to make my top zone all the way up here. I'm not going to make it too far. You're going to work within the candle. So if I'm looking at this candle, this is the nearest. And where's the next nearest? You just look around. Why did this candle make a wick here? Well, let me look around. Boom, we got rejections here. Why is this there? Look around. Look, rejections here. Why is this there? Look over here. Rejections here. It's no coincidence that this keeps happening. This is a powerful level. So this is the next zone. And it goes on and on and on. Because price doesn't move in a straight line. It makes higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. So that is the next level. Why did I select this level? Let me be very clear. Rejections. You guys might not see this because you might be new. Look right here. Boom. Just look left. That's the key. Look left. Look at all this. If price breaks through this, we have more zones to make. It's just a game of zone to zone. I'm gonna call this the zone strategy, man. It's really support and resistance, but I'm just gonna name it the zone strategy. And I start on the daily time frame. I make 2 zones. You got a bottom zone, top zone, right? Bottom, write it right here. Top. There's no secrets to this. Bottom zone, top zone. So this is on the daily time frame. You start on the daily time frame. Then you go to the 4-hour time frame. Once I go to 4-hour time frame, I'm looking for a middle section, a middle zone now. So I make a top zone, bottom zone, and middle zone. We're gonna have 3 zones. The middle zone is always in the middle. So your first look, you don't even have to look for structure. Just look in the middle. Look in the middle. You're always going to find something within this level. Look at this. Boom. Why did I select this? Well, look at all these wicks. Boom. You see all these wicks? And we're in our middle area. You got all this action here. This is already starting to reject it. You see it? It's already starting to reject it. You got these wicks at the bottom. Look at this. Look at price dancing on the line. Look at this. It's got all this right here. You don't have to use no fancy indicators. You don't have to use no fancy Fibonacci. None of this. This is zone trading. This is so easy to do. You can do it over and over again. And then you just focus on your risk reward ratio and your risk management. So this is how I caught this buy. So, and mind you, it's been bouncing in this zone since May 26th. Today is June 5th. So let's go and set up the entry and the TP. So entry 450 right here. It was within this candle. TP 4475 right here. And stop loss was originally below this. So I had a 1 to 2. I always do a 1 to 2. I just ended up closing slightly earlier. So this is where the trade, and mind you, I was telling you, this is the bottom zone. What is the bottom zone? Let's go back up here on the 4-hour. Remember, price loves to play ping pong. It's a game of ping pong. So I know when price gets here, it's most likely going to look to bounce. But you just don't go off of that just because price came down here. You go off candlesticks as well. So once price got into that zone, I want to say I showed up at my trading time. I'm not sure on what time it was because I don't think this is the correct time. But regardless, I showed up to my trading time. Price already bounced right here. By the time I entered, price came down here. Boom. Bounced off the zone. I love when price breaks through this middle line right here and comes back above. When price came back above, I like that. Price came back here. Boom. Took it back up there. The best thing you can do once price gets within the zone is look for strong 15-minute candles or strong 5-minute candles. I'm more than certain that I entered probably, I know I didn't enter right here, so yeah, I most likely entered right here of this little pullback or something like this. Regardless, entered right there, caught a 1 to 2 because of the zone trading. Everybody's zone is gonna be slightly different, and make sure when you're making the zone, the size of the zone is approximately like this. You don't want it too humongous. You want it a respectable amount. So I can't give you a accurate on how to make it, but I would say like this big. Like that's kind of like the rule of thumb on the daily. Like you don't want it too humongous, and as for the 4 hour, you don't want it too humongous as well. You just want it kind of like a normal size, like not too small, not too big. So, and this is the rule of thumb. Like I had a student just catch this right now. Price went above anything above this zone, this 4 hour, anything above buys, anything below sells, right? But I wouldn't sell if price was in our bottom zone. You understand that? That's the main thing. I wouldn't sell if price was in our bottom zone, and I wouldn't buy if price was like I wouldn't buy right here. I would not buy right here. When price was right here, I would not buy here. Why? Because price is in a rejection zone. You buy within here, you sell within here. So buys up here, buys down here, sells up here. But if price comes, like if this came right now and broke through this and went like this, I would look to buy right here. But right now, if price is at this zone, most likely, and if it doesn't pass this zone, most likely it's going to come right back down here. It's a game of zone to zone. The middle is your foundation. This is where you're going to make decisions. But down here, you don't have to make a decision. This is a bottom. We're looking for buys. Up here, you don't have to make a decision. We're waiting for it to reject it so we can sell. But if it breaks above here, this is your decision area. This is your foundation. So price is up here, like where it's at right now. Current price right here. I'm looking for rejections right here. And as you can see, it's already starting to act a little funny. You see how it's already rejecting? Now that doesn't solidify it and mean, okay, I'll just sell right here right now. You have to get some stronger candles. You gotta get a 15-minute candle, 5-minute candle. You might want to have something like this because look, currently price isn't going in a straight line. You might want to have something like this. Boom. And then you take that. You see? It's already rejecting right here. You might want to have something like that. But on the 5-minute. And then if you can get a 15-minute closure, you can get a week 30-minute. If you can get a week hourly. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a compound effect. Each time frame contributes to one another. If you guys want to know what time frames I use, these are the time frames that I use. I started these off right here. So it's zone trading. That's all it is. We took a W, multiple W's this week on trading. I do live trading. So you guys are interested, you could join the Discord. I made $2,100 this week, man. I took a $3,000 withdrawal last week, so that's amazing. All on a live account. And yeah, simple zone trading. This is the breakdown of my strategy. This is how I'm making money from the house, man. It's amazing. And when you have proper risk management followed by that, you could really compound and grow. You know, it's the beginning of the month. Look, it's the beginning of the month. It's amazing. You know, if you want to get better, join the Discord. I'm leaving everything in the bio. Simple zone trading. And if you don't understand this video, shoot me a DM on Discord, shoot me a DM on Instagram, wherever you can find me. And I'll make sure you understand this. Peace.